Hi, everybody. It's your podcast sister, Lisa, coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio. Before I start my podcast today, I wanted to take a moment and remember all of those that have been affected by the devastation of the hurricane. My thoughts and prayers go out to those in need and who are struggling during this terrible tragedy. This beautiful song we're listening to, called Soul Survivor, was written and recorded by my guest, Rebecca Correia. And she's going to be joining us to talk about her latest hit single. So stay tuned and let's talk music. These scars we take to the grave. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here with you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for joining me today. And I thought that your song that you came out with in March of this year, Soul Survivor, was fitting under the circumstances for the opening for today's show. And it's a beautiful song. Tell us the story about what inspired you to write Soul Survivor.
Yeah, this song is one of my most personal songs. I think I feel in my heart that it's always going to be one of my most important songs that I shared with listeners. I initially wrote the song about my brother's struggle with addiction and my experience as his sister. It's a family experience. Addiction is, and it affects everybody in different ways. And when I saw my brother start to get better was really the first time that I really turned inward and found my own strength to work on the things that I needed to work on to heal myself and keep moving forward in life. And so, when he really turned his corner, it really inspired me to work on myself and to persevere and to find inner strength. And I think that's fitting for what's going on right now in our world here in Tennessee, and everyone infected in North Carolina and Florida by the hurricane.
Yes, it's devastating, and with how you were able to translate that experience not only with yourself but with your family and your brother, and translate it into a beautiful song. I'm sure it helps people as well when they hear that song and they could relate and it resonates. Everyone is affected by addiction in one way or another. And I'm so glad you shared that story with us. And the song is beautiful, as well as all the songs that you write, Rebecca. You've put together 5 albums. You perform, I believe, on an average of 150 shows per year. And the collection you have of music that you've written is tremendous. And the stories that are found in each and every song, one is more different from the other. How do you stay motivated, and where do you come up with these ideas, and how do you do this? keep the songs fresh and keep them coming, and no repeat at all.
Thank you. I've been at it for a long time. I've been in the industry for over 25 years. I started writing when I was young, when I was in elementary school, believe it or not. And music was always a part of my life, and it grew with me. And I knew that I was always going to take a path that was involved in music one way or another. And I started writing, like I said, when I was young, and I just found it as an outlet, a source of to be able to emote my feelings and relay to other people, pain, strength, happiness, whatever the emotion was. So a lot of my work is autobiographical. So I pull from inspirations from my own experiences and friends, and just being out and about as a musician. It's given me the chance to experience a lot of different things that I wouldn't have normally been in contact with if I wasn't traveling or, meeting new people, that type of thing. So it's all from real life.
Yeah. I could see that. And, do you find that when you're performing after the show, maybe an audience member will come up to you and say, that particular song really affected me, or that, was similar to my story, and just those kinds of things. Does that happen to you after the show?
Oh, absolutely. Often. In fact, with Soul Survivor, that's one that, has really touched a lot of people. You can viscerally see people's reaction during the song, but I can't tell you how many people have come up after, sharing my experience and my story, how it's inspired them to, because everyone has been touched by dysfunction and addiction in their lives, and beyond. And it's, you know, anybody that's listening that's going through a hardship or some hard time and needs to find that inner strength to love themselves, it definitely resonates with.
Yes, yes, and I appreciate that. Switching gears, I think with you talking about your inner strength and you're a strong woman, let's talk about rose colored glasses, your newest hit, along with Lillie Mae, who's a singer songwriter. And I'm understanding she's also the fiddler on tour with Post Malone. So why don't
She is.
yeah, so why don't we play the snippet? I don't want to keep the audience waiting because it's a great song. And then when we come back, let's talk more about it, okay?
Great.
Here we go. Rose colored glasses.
She wears rose-colored glasses, even though it's out of fashion. Rose-colored glasses. She floats on the wings of a dove, straight up to the sky, into the arms of love. And there's a red stain on the earth where her damage fell, faster than the speed of light on through to the gates of hell. She's on her way back home. She's leaving all the bad things behind her as she goes, on her way back home. She takes the form of a lover. She's been everybody's mother, but she's nobody's saint. She bears the mark of a soldier, carries the weight on her shoulder, and she walks with faith. And there's a red stain on the earth where her damage fell, faster than the speed of light on through to the gates of hell. She's on her way.
I love that song. Tell us about
Thank you
it.
so much. Thank you. Yeah, I wrote that. It was inspired by several different women in my life, their triumphs and their tribulations, and some of my own experiences in there. And I found that, as after I'd written it, I wrote it at a friend's house, at her kitchen table. And after I had written it, I thought this would be a really great collaboration with Lillie. Lillie is one of the rare birds, the rare women that are in the music industry. And we really can relate on a lot of levels to things that we've gone through that are specific to us as women. And I knew that she'd be able to carry it. She's also one of the very first people I met when I moved to Nashville, and she's one of the most incredible musicians I know, for sure. So she sings on the track and she plays fiddle as well.
It's amazing. And your voices blend perfectly together. And with your voice, Rebecca, on every song that I listen to, you have such an ability, like each word and each verse, you keep the listener captivated because you keep building. Somehow it keeps intensifying. Each way you go, you guide the listener. And I'm I encourage everyone hearing this interview to listen to Rebecca's songs, and you'll know exactly what I mean. We'll talk and play some other snippets of her music, but it's so good, Rebecca. It really is.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I again was pulling a lot of inspiration from different people in my life, and I love when it gets to the bridge part of the song where it, gives you hope that somewhere in the distance there's a place for this person that, like, keep going because you're gonna get there and you got this.
Yeah, yeah. I agree totally. When you were filming your video for Rose Colored Glasses as well with Lillie May, tell us about that. Where was it filmed?
It was filmed actually in Lieber's Fork, at a friend's house in a beautiful, beautiful home. They were so gracious to let us take over for a day.
Nice.
The beautiful interior, as you can see, and that is their home. So we didn't stage it. That is just what it looks, minus the rose petals that were all, taking over the whole entire staircase in the video. So we got together that day, and basically Lillie and I just were being ourselves and telling the story and dancing out in the field as we would probably normally do if we were at a music festival or something like that. And we just had a really, really great time. Had Tyler Barksdale is our who's our director for the video, and many others that I have coming down the pipeline, and he's just really, really talented, and he's just such a quick turnaround. It's like magic. It's like, how did you get that result so quickly? He's incredible. And so a lot of the people that joined forces that worked on this project with us are all in this place, Leapers Fork, where I live. I've been living here now for about 12 years now, here out in Leapers Fork, and it's a music haven for musicians that, there's a lot of farmland, a lot of fields, and it's a retreat. But there's some incredible legendary musicians that reside here. So it's a really inspiring place to be, and to be surrounded by that kind of talent. Gets you up all day, gets you up in the morning, you want to get up and get going and make music.
Yeah, sounds beautiful. With the artwork, I think the artwork for the single is beautiful as well. I mean, it really is that soft rose colored with you and Lillie May, in a field. And who designed that?
Thanks. It's a company called Franchise Group. They're out of basically south of Boston, Massachusetts, where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working with them since I was, a teenager, basically.
Wow.
And they've done a lot of my projects with me. They're super talented. The owner of the company went to Savannah, SCAD. And so his eye for design is incredible. And his team is likewise just amazing. And, we had took that design and then took two separate photographs, one from my friend Megan Aileen. She's an incredible photographer. So we superimposed ourselves into that design right there. And I think it really kind of expresses what the vibe of the song is, what the story is.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's very eye-catching and original, that's for sure. Let's play another snippet. I think it's a good time to play another collaboration you had with Keb Mo and the song So Long Goodbye. I'm going to play it, and when we come back, you're going to tell us more about it, okay?
Great.
Here we go.
Love you so much. There's magic in your touch. My love for you is true. I don't want no nobody but you. But the one thing I cannot ignore, I don't move you anymore. You used to be my only one. Let's face it, the damage is done. I guess it's so long goodbye. Truth is making me cry. This feels so wrong. Goodbye, so long goodbye. The truth is making me cry. This feels so wrong. Goodbye, so long.
That's terrific, Rebecca. Tell us about that collaboration for this hit song.
Thank you. I'm so proud of that piece. I was such an honor to work with Keb, but it was a real honor. It was probably 4 or 5 years into me living in Nashville. I had met him through a friend, our mutual friend Kevin So introduced us, and I started to just support him, invite him to different events that were going on in town, and I would call him and touch base. And one day I called and he asked if I would come and write a song with him. Keb Mo asked me to write a song with him, and I got off the phone and I was like such a nervous wreck, because I'm like, wow, this is an incredible opportunity, to someone of this caliber, to be able to sit down and have an intimate experience like that is just incredible. So I had went over, and he had a rough sketch of some lyrics out, and he asked me what that inspired, what those words made me feel. And so I kind of sang a part of the chorus, and away we went. About 2 or 3 hours later, we had the song finished, and it ended up being on his 2013 record, Blues Americana, which was nominated for a Grammy in the Americana category. And it didn't win, but it felt like we won, because to even, to have, collaborated with him, and then to have given part of my time and my talents to this song, and have my name be recognized in something as prestigious as that, was really incredible. We went on to make a record together, Keb and I, and I begged him to do a version of So Long Goodbye on my record and to join me on it, and he obliged. So it was a real honor, and it's really special for me to always have that out in the world, and it's still my top download at this moment. So I'm so grateful. My top download in my stream. I'm so glad that he, shared his talents with me and shared his time. It was a real honor and a real gift that I'll never forget. I'm grateful.
Yes, that's so special. And you work so hard, and it's nice to hear, like you said, being recognized as part of a Grammy nominated album. And hard work does pay off.
It does. It does. It does.
Yeah. So speaking of hard work, are you working on another single, I hear?
I am. I actually have a new record coming out later this fall. I had done a Kickstarter back in February to raise funds to be able to make this record with actually Keb Mo's drummer. Casey Wasner is the producer of this record that we did. And with my fans' help, we raised over $23,000 to make the record.
Wow.
And and so now the fruits of our labor are coming to be, and we're about to release the first single this Friday. It's a song called Speak to a Girl, and it features my friend Shai Carter, who is an incredible artist himself. If you haven't heard of him, make sure you check out Shai Carter. He is one of the writers of this particular song that's coming out. I don't normally sing other people's songs, and I don't often co-write with other people, only in rare cases like when I wrote with Keb. But in this case, this is a song that he and 2 other writers wrote, and it was released back in 2017 by the incredible Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. And when it hit the airwaves, I just was so moved by the message in the song, and it really touched me. And about a year or so later, I was playing a club in New York City, and this gentleman came up to me after the show, and it was Shy Carter. And Shy, just humbly mentioned that he has had some hit songs along the way, and one of which was that song, Speak to a Girl. And so it started a connection and a bond between the two of us, and we've had the opportunity to sing it live together a few times, but I've been begging him for a while now to record a version with me. It's a really special track. The message is really important, really timely. It starts with a line that says, "She don't give a damn about your Benjamin Franklins. She wants Aretha," which means
Oh,
Respect, baby.
yeah. Oh, I can't wait till this comes out on Friday.
Yeah, super
And
special.
we'll have you back on the show when have time to fill us in on all your upcoming projects and
Absolutely.
accomplishments. So let's talk about your background in music. You went to college for music education and received your degree. And I understand that you even spend some time teaching music. I don't know where you find the time, but tell us about that.
Yeah, I've been teaching since music and some other things and since I was young. I'm the daughter of a retired first grade teacher. And so teaching was always a part of my life and around me growing up. And I just learned a really great way of being able to sort of, simplify the goal that people were trying to get to, whether it be music, whether it was piano, guitar, or vocal. And I went to college, like at the Hart School of Music, and I did get my degree, and I didn't have any intention of either, uh, teaching in a school system or not teaching in a school system. I was like, if that finds its way to me, then maybe I'll do that. But what has ended up happening is, um, people have come to me over the years to, to get some more insight on, how I do what I do, and learn piano, learn guitar, learn songwriting, and it has really been fulfilling. I have about 17 students right now, some of that are in Tennessee, but then some that are in Massachusetts that I teach online from time to time. And my students inspire me, and they help me stay really tight on my own craft. Like it gets me stronger at my own methods when I'm explaining them to somebody. So it's been really special to share and watch my students flourish and be able to perform themselves. They light up. When some of my students are as young as 5 and 6 years old, and I have a few students that are older, in their 60s, and so it's really been special to share my passion with them and be able to give them wings, whether they're playing at a bonfire, or they're playing, for their school recital, or they're, planning to play Madison Square Garden or something like that. Music is just a part of people's lives, and it's extremely healing
It is.
and important.
It is. And you play the piano, the guitar, the mandolin. And I think I read in college you actually had to learn a lot of different instruments with your music degree.
Yes, absolutely. We had everything from sight reading to conducting class to percussion class to trumpet, you name it. We even had a string class at one point, and we all had to learn, cello or viola or violin, and it was a challenge. It was a challenge, but it gave me some really well-rounded roots in music.
Yes. I want to play for snippet number 3, Gin. It has that blues kind of sound, and it's totally different than the 2 snippets we just heard. And I really love this song. When we come back after I play a snippet of Gin, let's talk a little bit more about it.
Great.
Okay, here we go.
It happened again late last night when the moon was on the rise. I was sipping my favorite drink and I was laughing and joking and flirting with this stranger, some guy. Sometimes I'm like a stupid little girl dressed up in my mama's high heel shoes, and I'm playing at these grown-up games where I don't even know the rules. I've been lying to myself, I've been lying next to him. I've been lying to myself, I've been lying next to him, next to him.
That song is just mesmerizing, and the piano and just your tempo of your voice and the range and the mood that it creates and the visual that you can imagine at the same time that you're singing. It's really perfection.
Thank you, thank you. I love that song, and it has a deep backstory that ties into basically everything that we've been talking about in terms of strong women, and it is actually a song written by my cousin Amy Correia. She's Amy, I'm Rebecca. Both of our dads are barbers, and we obviously should have been cutting hair, but we went into music, and she is one of my biggest inspirations. She always has been. She was on Capitol Records back in the early 2000s and she has put out several albums, and Gin was one of her first albums that she put out. And I remember seeing her, she'd play in clubs in Boston, and she would sing this song and others, and she's in my opinion, one of the greatest lyricists of all time. Her storytelling is, as you can tell, incredible. She's just a poet, and it was a real honor to be able to, to take her song. I have a different take than her take, and I didn't want to step on her toes, but I also wanted to share her brilliance with my audience if they didn't happen to know about her, because she's, like I said, one of my all-time favorites, not just because she's my cousin and she's related to me, but I just think she is such a fierce, inspiring creature. And, for her to be, out there and put herself out there as a singer-songwriter, and for me to see that growing up was so inspiring that, wow, this is a possibility. You can do this. Like, this is a thing that's possible, not just, taking the road that is normally traveled, that people take, especially women. To see her be that brave and bold was extremely inspiring, and I'm really grateful for all her wisdom she shared with me and her music. And yeah, that song is transformative for sure.
And I like what you're saying about your cousin being a strong woman, your mentor in many ways. And you and her are helping each other, women helping women. And, in whether it's guidance or, love and support or just being cousins, there's nothing like family to share and not compete with. And that's a beautiful story. And I'm very glad I picked that song to play and that you shared your story. Now, for our listeners, how can they find you on social media? You probably should spell your last name as well, Rebecca.
Well, my website is rebeccacorreia.com, and it was actually my cousin who taught me this little trick of my first name is the traditional Rebecca, and my last name is Correia. That's how you remember it, because it's three vowels. We're of Portuguese ancestry, and so our last name is not as familiar to some circles as it is from where we grew up. So RebeccaCorreia.com. You can find me on Instagram at Rebecca Correia. On Facebook, it's at Rebecca Correia Music. And on TikTok, I occasionally stop by and post from time to time, and you can find me at Rebecca Correia Sings.
Okay, well, there you go. So, listeners, download Rebecca's music, add it to your collection. And Rebecca, as I say for every show at the end, that's a wrap.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
It happened again late last night when the moon was on the rise. I was sipping my favorite drink and I was laughing and joking and flirting with this stranger, some guy. Sometimes I'm like a stupid little girl dressed up in my mama's high heel shoes, and I'm playing at these grown-up games where I don't even know the rules. I've been lying to myself, I've been lying next to him. I've been lying to myself, I've been lying next to him. Next